Hey yo, this is Night Raven 98, and I'm coming to you with a godlike build that I have come up with for the Necromancer. This build hasn't even been completely maxed out yet, and it's just insane. So you'll be putting out so many heals, plus debuffing the enemies as well as buffing the party all in one go. It's completely simple, it's easy. So with that in mind, let's get down to the build. So, as you can see, I am a Breton Necromancer, and I'm not even champion rank 810 yet. Close, but not yet. You want to put all of your attributes into Magicka. My max Magicka is 38k, max health is 18k, stam 10k. Now the spell damage and spell crit, you don't gotta worry about that. Spell resistance and physical resistance really isn't that much to look at, but the Magicka recovery, you will not have to worry about Magicka with this build. And the crits, don't worry about them. So we're going to go into skills. In skills, for the backup bar, I have Intense Mender. Conjure a ghostly spirit to do your bidding and stay by your side for 8 seconds. The spirit heals you or the lowest health ally around you every 2 seconds, restoring 8,522 health. And then, naturally with necromancers, we rely upon corpses. So, Unnerving Boneyard. You desecrate the ground at the target location, dealing 12,034 frost damage over 10 seconds. But you also apply Major Breach and Fracture to enemies within, reducing their spell and physical resistance by 5280. You can consume a corpse on cast to deal 50% more damage. And an ally standing in the graveyard can activate the Grave Robber synergy, dealing 8680 frost damage to enemies in the area and healing you for the damage done. And that comes from the Grave Lord. Third one down, it's the Boneyard Morph. And naturally the Intense Mender is the Spirit Mender from the Living Death tree. I will try to explain where you get them. Okay, Skeletal Arcanist. It's within your Gravelord tree. It's Skeletal Mage, morphed into Skeletal Arcanist. You unearth a Skeletal Mage from the dirt to fight by your side for 16 seconds. The mage attacks the closest enemy every 2 seconds, dealing 2115 shock damage to them and all other enemies nearby. So you're not only healing and debuffing and buffing, buffing your allies and debuffing the enemies, you're also dealing out very minimal damage. But that's the thing about necromancers, and you'll see in pretty shortly. Necrotic Potency rank 3. That's within your Bone Tyrant. This is a great skill, believe me. Sap the lingering life from fresh corpses, granting you 6 ultimate and healing 974 health every 1 second for 2 seconds per additional corpse. This ability scales off your max health. While slotted, your damage taken is reduced by 3%. You'll see why that's really good whenever I get down to the ultimates. Agony Totem. you'll need this. You summon an effigy of bone at your feet that gives minor protection to you and your allies for 11 seconds, reducing damage taken by 8%. But after 2 seconds, the totem begins fearing nearby enemies every 2 seconds, causing them to cower in place for 4 seconds. So that means that your party doesn't have to worry about taking so much damage. There are some enemies within the game that are immune automatically to fear, so you got to keep that in mind, but at least they'll have the reduction in damage taken while this is out and they're within the area. But allies can activate Pure Agony, causing enemies to take 84 magic damage over 5 seconds and applying minor vulnerability to them, increasing their damage taken by 8%. So you're not only dealing damage, but they're also taking a debuff on top of the fear and reducing the damage that your allies are taking all in one. Now for passives, you want everything. So you want Death Gleaning. Whenever an enemy you are in combat with dies within 28 meters of you, restore 200 magicka and stamina. So that's a good resource gain from just killing enemies. Even the enemies that your allies kill, it counts towards it. Disdain Harm 2. Reduce the damage you take from damage over time abilities by 15% while you have a Bone Tyrant ability activated. So, only for the Necromancer, while you have the Agony Totem active, you're taking a 15% damage reduction for all damage over time abilities while you have a Bone Tyrant ability active, thus the Agony Totem. Health Avarice. Increase your healing received by 2% for each Bone Tyrant ability slotted. So you get a 2%. Last Gasp. Always great to have extra health. Just increases your health by an extra 1,250. Within the Graveyard Lord, you want all the passives. I'm pretty sure you'll have all of them for each one. So, reusable parts. When your Blast Bones, Skeletal Mage, or Spirit Mender dies, the cost of your next one is reduced by 50%. So it's always nice to have that going. Once your Skeletal Mage drops or your Spirit Mender drops, bring them back. You know, have your rotation going. You know, I don't really have a rotation for this because honestly, the healing that you're doing, you don't have to worry about it. You can just do whatever and your party will not suffer any fatalities. Now, the only time that I would say that you'll have a fatality within the group is when you're not on the right bar to throw out a quick heal or stuff like that, you know. Death Knell 2. Increase your critical strike chance against enemies under 25% by 10% for each Grave Lord ability slotted. So, as you're having that out, and they're below 25% health, you always want to have this up 100% of the time. Let alone everything at 100%. They'll take an extra 20% extra damage from just your Boneyard and any other deals like your Skeletal Mage and your light and heavy attacks. Dismember. While Grave Lord ability is active, your spell and physical penetration are increased by 1500. It's always nice to have. Rapid Rot 2. Increases your damage done with damage over time effects by 15%. So adding the 15% on top of the 20%, that's 35% extra increased damage, plus reduced physical and spell resistance that they are already under from your Boneyard. So you're having damage coming out, so it's nice. Now, the active abilities from Living Death that you'll run. Intensive Mender, already explained that. Braided Tether, you can run if you really want to. It's really no point, because just 2 abilities will have your main healing going off. So, but yeah, Braided Tether, you siphon the last remnants alive from a corpse, healing for 17,208 health over 12 seconds to yourself, all allies around you, and all allies between you and the corpse. So the little tether that's connected to you and the corpse, anyone that's within that plus around you is getting healed. So it's really nice. Plus, while you have it slotted, your healing done is increased by 3%. Okay, passives. Curative Curse 2. While you have a negative effect on you, your healing done is increased by 8%. Yeah, it's not that bad, but hey. Curative Curse. Wait, yeah. I already went over that. Near-Death Experience 2. While you have a Living Death ability slotted, your critical strike chance with all healing abilities increased by up to 20% in proportion to the severity of the target's wounds. So, I've seen my heals hit decent between 5 and like 10k sometimes, but there's so much healing going on that literally you'll have multiple numbers just like crop up all over your screen. So you'll see it, because I'm gonna run a dungeon to show you exactly how this build runs, seeing as I can't really use a target dummy to do that, at least that I know of. So Corpse Consumption 2. When you have an ability on a when you use an ability on a corpse, you generate 10 ultimate. This effect can occur once every 16 seconds. So when you have this passive and you use necrotic potency, that activates this every 16 seconds. It'll generate 10 ultimate plus the ultimate that you get from the necrotic potency, which is really, really good. So, moving on. Undead Confederate. While you have a Blastbone, Skeletal Mage, or Spirit Mender active, your Magicka and Stamina recovery is increased by 200. So the 1500 Magicka recovery that I have now, it'll be 1700. Plus the potion that you'll be taking will also increase that as well. So you can have probably up to like 1900 to like 2000 Magicka recovery every second. So plus, your heavy attacks will greatly increase it too. So alright, don't worry about the destruction staff. I gotta still get rid of that. Alright, so on your main bar, your restoration staff's skill line, you have Illustrious Healing, which is the morph from Grand Healing. You summon Restoring Spirits with your staff, healing you and your allies in the target area for 1853 health, and an additional every 1 second per 12 seconds. So that's decent. That's pretty dang good, Radiating Regeneration 4 from the Regeneration morph. Share your staff's life-giving energy, healing you or up to 3 nearby allies for 19,146 over 10 seconds. So putting that with this, you'll have pretty good heals out. Combat Prayer. It's the Blessing of Protection morph. You slam your staff down to activate its blessing, healing you and your allies in front of you for 6,122 health. It also grants Minor Berserk and Minor Resolve, increasing you and your allies' damage done by 8% and your physical and spell resistance by 1,320 for 8 seconds. So, you want to have this up at all times. Have it activated, make sure you line up your allies in front of you and get as many as you can, and they'll do an 8% increase in damage, which will also, I believe, go with the others. So yeah, it's pretty dang good. Essence Drain. You gain major mending for 3 seconds after completing a fully charged heavy attack, increasing your healing done by 25%. You also heal yourself or an ally near the target for 30% of the damage inflicted by the final hit of a fully charged heavy attack. So whenever you go to get your resources back, anyone near the target, they're getting 38% of that damage healed to them. But also, your next healing over 3 seconds will have an increase of 25%. Restoration Expert. Increase your healing by 15% on allies under 30%. So I can say that this is really good because, you know, once they're low, you want to get them back up really quickly. So once they drop, boom, bring them right back up. But I have yet to see anyone drop below half health or even 3/4 of a health when I'm running this build. Cycle of Life 2. Your fully charged heavy attacks restore 30% more magicka, so that's really good on the resource restore. Absorb. You restore 539 magicka when you block a spell. It's pretty decent. I don't really worry about it. Restoration Mastered. Rank 2. Increase healing with the Restoration Staff spells by 5%. So, it's really, really good. Alright, we're going to go on to the ultimates. On my front bar, I am running Glacial Colossus. You're probably wondering why. And here's the reason. Unleash a frostbitten flesh Colossus to pulverize enemies in the area. The Colossus smashes the ground 3 times over 3 seconds, dealing 7,063 frost damage with each smash. The final smash stuns all enemies hit. So on top of your fear, you're going to stun anything as well. Whoop. Dealing damage applies major vulnerability to any enemy hit for 8 seconds, increasing their damage taken by 30%. Enemies cannot be affected again for 20 seconds. But that's fine, because in between bosses, you want to be consuming corpses with your necrotic potency, building up your ultimate. That's going to be your main ultimate, because you want to wait until a boss is at like 22%, hit that, boom, drop them down to 20%, and then your party can start doing their assassinate abilities. I can't remember the word that we use for it, but yeah. Execute, yeah, there we go. That way people can use their executes and bring him down really quickly. Now, during the fight, I see myself getting back enough ultimate to hit off a second Colossus during the fight. So, with that in mind, kind of keep an eye on how your party's going, and you can possibly get it off twice to help take down the boss even quicker, which is also really nice. So going on to the armor skills, you want everything in light armor. There's that. You want the evocation, because I'm wearing 5-piece light, 1-piece medium, 1-piece heavy. I will explain in just a moment why. Then your spell resistance, your spell critical rating, which is always nice, and your concentration, your spell penetration, which is really, really good. In medium armor, all you'll need is Windwalker, because you want to have at least a little bit of stam recovery for all your dodging and breaking out and all that. And don't worry about the bottom reducing the stamina cost of your abilities. There's no stamina cost skills within our build. Heavy armor. You just want the first 3. You increase your health by 2% for each piece of heavy armor. Like I said, 1 piece of heavy, thus 2% increase to my health. More health means higher shield. You increase your health recovery by 4%, and you restore 108 magicka and stamina when you take damage for each piece of heavy armor equipped every 4 seconds. So whenever you take a hit, another 4 seconds, boom. So it's decent on the magicka and stamina recovery. You want the harness magicka because it grants you a shield that absorbs 9,036 damage for 6 seconds. Damage shield strength capped at 50% of your max health. So I have 18k health, so that's 9k shield. While active, whenever the shield absorbs damage, you restore 199 magicka. Each piece of light armor worn increases the magicka restored by 33%, and it can occur up to 3 times while your shield is active. So it's a nice return. The vampire has changed a lot. I mean, they changed up some. Undeath is always nice to have. You reduce your damage taken by up to 30% based on your missing health, so that's a nice damage reduction for you. All these others don't really contribute to it, so I don't really use anything else. This is just on there because I was trying something out. You want everything within the Breton because it increases your max magicka by 2%. Sorry, not 2%, 2,000. Your spell attunement increases your spell resistance by 2310, and it's doubled if you're burning, chilled, or concussed. You also get an increase to your magicka recovery by 100, so that's really good. And of course, reduces the magicka cost of your abilities by 7%. So lower cost on magicka means more spells and healing that we can do on a constant burst. So, plus with Opportunist, we get a 15% increase to the experience gain. And if you like the PvP, you can probably throw in some defensive abilities and stuns for this build if you want. I have not worked on my alchemy, but on this character because I made it and haven't really focused on the crafting. But when I get around to it, you want medicinal use ranked up to 3. It's really easy to level alchemy, especially if you're in a guild and you have friends who's been playing for a while, or even if you're a fresh character. I mean, just go out, grab some herbs, do some farming for it, go back, make some potions. You'll gain levels in it pretty quickly. So medicinal use at rank 3, it'll last like an extra 30 or 40% longer. So you're looking at, instead of like a 38, you're looking at a 42 duration on your potion that you take. So that's the skills. I forgot one other one. My back bar has renewing animation. Just on the oh crap moment that your party members do fall, I just have it there just to, better safe than sorry, they always say. Renewing animation, it's the reanimate ultimate. You bring your allies back from the brink of death, resurrecting up to 3 allies at the target location. You restore 5,300 magicka and stamina for each ally you attempt to resurrect. So they come back with a good resource pool, so that way they can heal themselves with either, vigor or vigor, however people say it, or a healing spell that they have personally, like a warden's healing or something. or, you know, shield up. So that's the skills. Now, let's go into the gear. So, yes, I am running the Winter's Respite set. You want the Winter's Respite on your front bar or back bar, whichever one's going to be your main bar. It don't really matter. So I have the normal Absorb Magicka enchantment. It deals 1859 magic damage and restores Magicka to you, about 327. Plus I have the increases healing done by 8%, so it's very good. So the set right here, it adds 120 Magicka recovery, adds 1020, actually 2040, 2040 Magicka, max Magicka. Now, casting abilities that leave an effect on the ground. This is the bread and butter of the build. Casting abilities that leave an effect on the ground will create a circle of healing frost for 10 seconds. You and your allies restore 2,808 health every 1 second while inside this circle. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds, which is amazing because it has a duration of 10 seconds, and then every 10 seconds, boom. So as soon as the deal is gone, you can instantly apply it again. So that is the bread and butter of this build. On the back bar, I'm just running a willpower deal, so that way I can keep my max Magicka up at all times, plus have the powered, increases healing done by 8%, so that way your healing doesn't suffer any. The 5-piece armor set that I'm running is the Spell Power Cure robe. The Spell Power Cure set, which comes from White Gold Tower. You want to have it either Divines. Like I said, I'm still working on this, so Divines is always nice. So the Spell Power Cure adds 1058 max Magicka, adds 124 spell damage to your deal. Whenever you heal yourself or an ally that is 100%, you have a 50% chance to give the target Major Courage for 10 seconds, which increases their weapon and spell damage by 258. So with you constantly having out the frost area that heals from the Winter's Respite, just for them being at full health, they're still getting healed by being in there. 50% chance to give them Major Courage, so they have increased spell damage. Plus you have Minor Courage from this Minor Berserk and Minor Resolve, increasing their damage done and their physical resistance, spell resistance. So it's nice. That way everyone constantly has it up for the 10 seconds while the area is out. The monster set that I'm running, this is just for the oh crap kind of moment, that if an ally drops and you heal them, you want infused on both, which I do not have, but that will increase your max Magicka. You want a max health enchantment on the helmet, and the infused will increase and give you the 1030 max health. So like I said, higher health, better shields. For having two, you add an extra 4% healing done, and when you heal yourself or an ally that is under 50% health, you conjure a pool of quenching blood underneath them, immediately removing all previous enemy placed effects and healing the lowest health target in the area for 36,685 health over 10 seconds. and it can occur every 20 seconds, which is great because by the time they're back up, you're having your healing down. Boom, you don't have to worry about that whole 20-second downtime or 10-second downtime. So make sure your frost is out at all times. Make sure you have your braided tether or your totem, because your totem will activate the frost healing circle. You can have 3 Winter's Respite, so 3 there on the accessories, and then this will count as 2. So you'll have 5, as I will show you. See, now I have 5 out of 5, so everything is lit up, and I have the set bonus. So whenever you use, say, your healing rings here, boom. See that frost aura? See the healing done? Plus this, shield, hit another frost, boom, slam, boom, and then boom. Alright. Now let's go on to the potions that you'll be running. Essence of Spell Power grants you major sorcery, which increases your spell damage by 20% per 36.6 seconds. So instead of 36.6, if you have rank 3 within the alchemy deal, you will have a 42-second uptime. 46 uptime, which means that you can have this up at all times. It restores Magicka to you and grants you major intellect, which increases your magic recovery by 20 seconds for that duration. So your magic recovery is going to go up even higher. Like I said, it can hit 2,000 or higher. You also get Major Prophecy, which gives you a spell crit, so that's always nice for your heals. The food, I just run a basic Witch Mother's Potent Brew. I mean, increases your max health, magicka, and your magic recovery by 311 for 2 hours, which is really good. You can run the Crown Fortifying Meal. You can run that if you want, but you'll suffer on the magicka recovery. Let's see here. What else am I forgetting? Oh, yes. So, as you've seen, I have my heavy helmet. You want to make sure that the monster helm is heavy, and then the shoulders medium, and then 5-piece light, because more light means more towards your light armor abilities. Now down here, you want to work on getting your Undaunted. Yes, it's kind of nerve-wracking with how long it takes, but if you run normal and your random normals and eventually your veteran deals, and you do the pledges each day, and you do the scroll at the end, you'll get a bonus towards leveling this up. But the passive abilities is just the only things that you need. Don't worry about any other active ability. So, Undaunted Command 2, activating allies synergy restores 4% of your max health, stamina, and magicka. The current bonus is 923 health, 401 stamina, and 1,489 magicka. So, as soon as you use someone's synergy, boom, you get that back, which is a nice little buffer on your resource gain. Not like you really need it, and you'll not suffer from it. So yeah, Undaunted Metal is where it's at. Increases your max health, stamina, and magicka by 2% per type of armor, heavy, medium, light, that you have equipped. So I have 1 light, 1 heavy, 1 medium, and 5 light. So that counts as 3 different types. So I get a 6% increase to my health, magicka, and stamina, which is Awesome. I believe that will about do it. Did I miss anything? Nope. Okay. So, there will be a brief pause here as I am stupid and I forgot to go do something real quick. And when I get back, I will run through a dungeon and show you how the deal goes. Okay, I apologize for that brief delay. Let's do a random veteran dungeon. If you're wanting to know what person out, like why my guy walks like that, and the outfit that I currently have, let me know in the comments section, and I will be more than happy to tell you. And normally it doesn't take this long to queue as a healer. Ah yes, I did forget something. I forgot the champion points. So you want the Shadow as the Mundus Stone, by the way, for the critical damage by 13%. We're gonna go into this, seeing as it's taking its sweet time. So you want 51 in Warlord. Reduce the cost to break free by 19%. You want 75 in Tenacity for the extra Magicka return. Arcanist for your higher Magicka recovery, 75 in that. I'm just throwing points into that because everything else is good. 51 in Tumbling for the roll dodge, getting out of harmful areas. Shadow Ward, 11 points in that for an extra reduction on the cost of blocking. Within the blue deal, I'm running 72 in Elfborn for a 23% increase in critical healing. 75 in Blessed for an increase in healing done. 33 in Staff Expert for the 19% damage down with light and heavy attacks. For the Master at Arms, 13 in that. 75 in Thaumaturge for the damage over time effect. In the red champion skill lines here, 44 in Ironclad for the 17% reduction to your damage taken against direct damage attacks. 11 Spell Shield, you want to raise that up just a little bit. 56 in Hardy, and 56 in Elemental Defender. 51 in Thick Skinned for your reduction against damage over time effects. Light Armor Focus just for the extra physical resistance. Quick Recovery increases your healing received by 10%, which is always nice to have. So you can put more into Light Armor Focus if you really want to. Spell Shield, you know, these are just if you're going to go into PvP, because the enemies do not even, like, they don't worry about your physical and spell resistance. At least I don't believe so. And I've been playing for about 4 years now, and I haven't really had much trouble with it. So, oh, here we go. That's given if everyone readies up. Alright. So that way they can't really know that they're being on live right now. So I'll always go with my back bar if needed.
You won't get our treasure. Set it ablaze.
If you really have a good tank, then they'll pull them into the totem. Let's see here. I'll use that to get ultimate. And now we don't have to worry about them attacking. We can just take them down. Switch over, get some more into that. Place that there. Alright, boss coming up. So normally the bosses are immune to the fear effect, which is fine. So I'll go ahead and get that off. Hit that. And then start putting out my deals. Get that out. And now I can just do that. Get that back out. And wait for them to drop. Switch over, draw out. Go ahead and make him drop so that way I can suck up his soul. Almost. See? By that time, second one off. Now they can finish him off. Boom. Alright. Let's see where the... I don't think we have an actual tank, but it's quite alright. Don't need one. Especially with the god here. See, now they can just mess them up. Thus I can put another healing down, so multiple healing going on here. Put out another one. Fear him. Back up so you can get everyone into your line of for combat prayer. Boom. I don't know where that guy's going. I guess we're gonna... saving up for the boss fight here. I don't know why they're running that way, but go where this would-be tank. And naturally he comes after me. I think they're mainly here for loot. Well, don't know what exactly they're doing here. Still want to have that totem out so that way they can properly still get their damage reduction. This is going to be a long fight.
Let's see how you handle this. Here it is. Cower before the wrath
Don't stand in stupid. That's the only reason why someone would die, if they just totally disregard mechanics. I mean, wow, did I put a double there? Okay, gonna hit it off. Okay, I'm glitched. Oh, this is funny. I'm glitched. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of um, the build. So, if you have any questions, and you also play on the NA server on PS4, I will gladly help you out on figuring out further mastering this build. Till then, thank you for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe and hit that bell notification, as I put out videos quite regularly, at least once or twice a day, depending on if I'm free or not. So, yeah, with that, thank you for coming, and have a good one. Till next time.